Well, welcome to Mondays with Margie, where I love to bring you the latest information on ways to get healthy, stay healthy, and age well naturally. So if you happen to be new to my Monday videos, I'm Margie Setterloff, physical therapist, functional nutritionist, and your Kingdom Health Coach. So you are in for a real treat today because I have a very special guest to introduce to you, and he's going to be sharing some amazing information with us this morning. So if you're watching us live, just let us know by putting live in the comments. If you're watching us on replay, just put replay in the comments. And now, without further ado, I want you to meet my distinguished guest. Dr. Derrick DeSilva is joining us from his home in New Jersey. But before I actually share his background with you, I just want to say welcome to our morning gathering, Dr. D.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Well, we are really honored to have you with us here today. And I'm just going to share with the ladies a little bit about your background, if that's okay. Dr. DeSilva has been in medical practice for over 35 years, and he's still actively practicing in the state of New Jersey, as I mentioned. He's a member of the teaching faculty of the JFK Medical Center. He's been the recipient of the prestigious Alan Mintz Award for his outstanding work in healthy aging and age management medicine. He's a past president of the American Nutraceutical Association, and he's appeared on multiple television and news broadcasts. And last but not least, he is the chief medical officer and product formulator for a brand new company called Purvii. It's a technology and wellness company that just opened its doors less than 2 months ago. Dr. DeSilva is also sought after internationally for speaking engagements, for his medical expertise, and just for his many talents and his skills that he possesses. So we are honored and tremendously blessed that you're here with us today, Dr. D. Now, I've had the honor of meeting you on several occasions, and every time I hear you speak, it's obvious that you have a passion to see people thriving and healthy in every area of life. And that really, really sets you apart from the masses. And most recently, I had the privilege of being at a private gathering down here in Florida, where you introduced something new and innovative called the Purscan app. It's new technology, something that you've been personally, if I'm not mistaken, instrumental in really helping develop that. And it's an app that actually reads our vital signs and gives us some significant health markers right from our phone. Mm-hmm. And before I'm going to have you kind of share a little bit about that. But with everything that we've recently experienced as a nation, from viruses to lockdowns to the rising costs of medical care, I think more and more people are becoming aware of the importance of taking responsibility for their health. And they're looking for ways to minimize their needs for medications. So they want to stay out of the hospital. They want to stay out of the doctor's offices as much as they possibly can. And something I hear you say so often is we need to know our numbers.
Right.
So that's where I'm just going to turn it over to you and say, first of all, why is knowing our numbers so important? And how can this Purscan technology help us to do that? And just kind of share with us
Sure.
a bit more.
Well, first of all, Margie, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here. I think this is one of the biggest issues that I see in my own medical practice. By the way, I see patients in New Jersey. I also have a Florida medical license, and I see people in both places. And I've seen people literally all over the world. I have patients that are literally all over the world. One of the things that I do see is that people are people. And if you say to somebody, hey, when was the last time you had your blood pressure checked? Or when is the last time you had, or do you know your hemoglobin A1C, or do you know your blood sugar? A lot of people, the majority of people will say no. The analogy that I use is this. If you're driving down a highway and the speed limit is 65, 70 miles an hour, and your speedometer is broken, how are you going to know what speed you're really going? You have to know that number that shows up either digitally or on that gauge is something that you need to know, because you could be going too slow or you could be going too fast. You could be too low or you could be too high. So knowing your numbers, and in my own practice, one of the things that I have my patients do is this. I give them a sheet of paper and I say to them, if you're diabetic, I need you to check your blood sugar.
Mhm.
If you have high blood pressure, I need you to check your blood pressure. Because here's the deal. You come in, you're sitting in the office, not in my office, but you go to a doctor's office and you sit there for 45 minutes to an hour. They take you into the room, you're sitting there for another 30 minutes. And by the time that hour and a half to 2 hours is gone, you are furious that you're waiting that long. What's going to happen to your blood pressure? It's going to go up. So now the doctor will say, oh my goodness, your blood pressure is high. They're adding another medicine or they're increasing your dose. And this is what is happening in the medical system. You have to do your homework. You as the patient, you as the person that is part of this, this is a team. This is a team when it comes to your healthcare. So you need to know your numbers, and that's just the beginning.
Exactly. That's amazing. So yeah, I totally agree because too many people are going down that path of medicine, one medication after another, and pretty soon they're just on that downward spiral and they can't get out of it, and that's the struggle. So just can you share with us a little bit about how this Purscan technology can help us to really know those numbers?
Sure. Technology has come a long way. 40, 50 years ago, if you took your car to the mechanic and there was something going on with your car, what did you do? You get it to the mechanic, you pull into the garage, the mechanic, what do? They open up the hood. They look inside, the mechanic may say, hey, start your car again, let me see what that noise is, or why isn't it starting? Today, what we do is you go to the mechanic, you go to the garage, they don't even touch the hood. They plug it in to a computer. They get underneath the dashboard, they take a computer, they plug it in, and the computer tells you exactly what is wrong. We've made tremendous strides when it comes to technology. The same thing in medicine. We have robotic surgery today. We have all kinds of laparoscopic surgery. We have surgeries, we have modalities that are very new, very innovative. It's the same thing in healthcare. Monitoring. So what is the Purscan app? This is an app that you literally look into your phone. When you look into your phone, the light, whatever light you have, the ambient light, what it does is that it reads 15 different points on your face. What that light then does is that light goes down into the blood vessels. Inside blood vessels, there are cholesterol molecules, sugar molecules, hemoglobin molecules, and all kinds of things that are floating around inside the blood. They're all called chromophobes. They are particles that or substances within the blood vessel that absorb light. It absorbs red light, green light, and blue light. It then reflects this light back into the camera, and the camera then, via artificial intelligence, it goes to servers that are in the US. The servers, the artificial intelligence then analyzes it within 30 seconds and gives you a readout. It gives you a readout of your respiratory rate, how fast you're breathing, your heart rate, your blood pressure, your blood sugar within a range, your heart rate variability, your cholesterol risk index, your triglyceride risk index. It also gives you your BMI, your basal metabolic, your BMI, your body mass index, and your cardiovascular risk index. This is a screening tool, Margie. And this is what people need to understand. This is not a diagnostic tool. It is a screening tool for you to monitor yourself. You don't need to stick yourself anymore. You don't need to put a blood pressure cuff on. You use this as a screening tool. What I tell people is this. If you notice that every day your blood pressure is in the high or the red range, and we have a green, we have a yellow, and we have a red. And if you're always in that red range, you got a problem. There's something going on. If your blood sugar is always in that red range, there's something going on. You need to get to your doctor and get the appropriate blood test, get the appropriate blood pressure done, et cetera, et cetera.
Beautiful. That is so, as you always do, you always explain things in such a simplified way so people can really understand that. And I totally appreciate that because, you know, I think, well, you know, my son was, I lost my son to a cardiac arrest at the age of 40. And so if he had something like this, I don't, you know, you never know what's going to happen, but something like this is so valuable that can help us to prevent certain things that could be possibly prevented down the way. You know, one of the things that I thought of when you were speaking about that is that so many people wear, well, I shouldn't admit it, but I've got one of my watches on. You know, so many people wear these watches, and when it comes to safety, and when it comes to, you know, some people are concerned about the AI aspect of all of this. And, you know, I honestly had that concern when I first saw this. And now that I've understood it and you've explained it, it makes so much sense. But if you just briefly touch on why, you know, the reason why this is actually safer than what we're wearing every day on our watches.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me first address the AI aspect of this. Your data is not the company's. We don't own it. We don't have it. We don't store it. We don't want anything to do with it because we don't want to be responsible for your data. Right. You need to be responsible for your data. And by the way, this data is held in your phone, and it will give you daily readings, weekly readings, monthly readings, every 3 months, however you want to see those readings, you can do it. And the beauty of this also, Margie, is that you can send a summary. So now my patients, instead of writing everything down before they come in or when they come in, they email me their results, and I can see everything. This goes right to your doctor. This is HIPAA compliant. This is non-invasive. There are 8 published studies on the data. It's 95 to 98% accurate, and there are 3 US patents on this data. Why is this safer? I am not a fan. I have one of the devices upstairs in my home. I will, and in fact, I'm paying a monthly fee on that because I got it in some kind of a package. I will not put that on my wrist. Yeah. It is constantly tracking, sending out this signal, and what it is constantly doing is there is, and it's not a lot, but there's constantly radiation that is going into your wrist. And it's not like you have this on for 10 minutes. You have this on for 12 hours a day. Yep. And then we have people who are wearing all of these devices in their ears, these ear pods. Folks, these are deadly. People that are carrying these devices in their shirt pockets, in their back pockets, folks, you got to stop that nonsense because this is scary. Use the device, whatever it is, use the voice component to it, put it down, talk. You will never, ever see me with a cell phone in my pocket or earbuds in my ears, or you will never, ever see me with one of those watches on. You've known me for a long time. You've never seen me like that. So just an FYI for people.
Well, thank you. And I have taken that to heart myself. In fact, I took my watch off, put it beside my computer, and I'm not wearing it. So,
Good.
but I do take that to heart. So thank you so much for what you've shared. And, as we close today's video, I really just want to thank you for the time and the great information that you have shared. So for anyone who's watching, we want to make this app available to you or a loved one that you think might be able to benefit from that. So, for about $1 a day, you can have the peace of mind that knowing your numbers, the peace of mind that can bring you. So, and you really can't put a price on that. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask them right here in the comments. And if you would like more information specifically on that Purscan app, put the word app in the comments, and I'll be happy to reach out to you personally, send you a link with more information. So as I wrap this up, I want to say that, knowing our numbers is super, super important. Having access to the right raw materials and nutrients that we need to support our body in the healing process is also an important next step. So we are blessed that Dr. DeSilva has agreed to join us next week as well to share more of his expertise when it comes to natural solutions that target some of these most common health challenges that we face today. So mark your calendars, join us next Monday, 9:00 Eastern Time. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for watching today, and thank you, Dr. DeSilva, for sharing your time with us. Until next week, remember to just keep shining that beautiful light of yours, and we will talk with you soon.